Hi, this is Lisa Murphy from Cherry Therapies. Today I'm going to show you how to make water kefir. Now water kefir is one of the simplest ways that you can get started with fermented foods, so it's a great thing to learn. It's really basic ingredients. There's 3 ingredients really. There's water, sugar and the grains, the water kefir grains. Now you might be a little bit concerned that it involves sugar. But just to put your mind at rest, the sugar pretty much just feeds the grains and they transform it into fructose and some yeasts. So there's very little sugar really left at the end of the process. But if that does concern you, you can use fresh coconut water and then it'd be completely healthy, completely raw vegan. I personally just use sugar. I use the Rapadura, the raw cane sugar. So it feels like I'm starting off with quite a good quality sugar anyway, and then like I say, the grains eat that and you get left with a nice fizzy drink at the end of it. So I'll start the process now. Now these are the water kefir grains and they're in sugared water. Now these have been fermenting for about 2 days now, so they're ready to harvest. I don't know if that's the right word for it. So, I'm just going to sieve them out. So I'll just pour them through the sieve and I get left with the sweet water, and then I don't know if you can see that, some nice healthy water kefir grains. So, this is a fresh batch of sugared water that I made. Now I made it slightly earlier just because I wanted the sugar to dissolve in the water. Now I've got 1 litre of water in here and I put in 3 tablespoons of sugar. So that tends to be quite a good quantity for them. They seem to do fine in that. So I'll just transfer the grains into the fresh sugared water. Now because grains basically just keep growing and keep reproducing as they eat the sugar, so you just generally tend to end up with more grains than you end up with more grains than you started with. So you can put these grains in smoothies if you want. You can give them to your pets. Dogs really like them apparently. Or you can give them to a friend if you're feeling charitable. Or you can just throw them in the compost, because they do really well in the compost as well. They're just very, very good all around. So I'd say it's best, you can get kefir powder as well when you're starting off if you're going to buy it. But I would definitely recommend getting the grains because they last forever. They just keep going and going. You just keep getting more of them. So it's a very economical way to make your own probiotics and your own fermented foods. So there you go, we've got the grains in the sugared water, and I will leave those just in a sort of fairly warm place, just in the kitchen, and they'll be ready again after 2 days. So now in the meantime we've got this kefir. And so I'm going to transfer that to another jar because I'm going to second ferment this batch. So what that means is pour the liquid in there and then you can flavour it, because as it is, it's nice, it's a good drink, it's a good healthy drink for you, but you can add flavour and extra nutrition and nice taste to it if you second ferment it. So you can add in things like fruit or herbs or spices, anything really that you think of that you'd like to flavour the kefir. So, oh, I forgot to mention actually, sorry. I'm going to go back to the first kefir because I forgot to mention, with the sugar, sometimes not every batch, but sometimes I add a little chunk of ginger in as well, because that just adds a little bit of minerals to it. The kefir seems to like the ginger, so I'll pop that in there. And that's organic ginger. Now if it wasn't organic ginger, I would have definitely peeled it, couldn't think of the word, but because it's organic, I'll just throw it in as it is. I'm going to put a couple of figs in as well. And they just add a few minerals to it. You don't have to do that every time, but I just sometimes do that. You can also add a slice of lemon. That's good as well. So pop that in. Right, okay, back to the second ferment. So I decided I'm going to flavour this one with pears, just simply because pears were the only ripe fruit I could find in the kitchen today. So these are nice conference pears. Well, this one is anyway. So I'm just going to slice that up. Pop them in. So you can experiment, you know, and do lots of different types of flavours and tastes in your kefir. Apple's great. You can make a kind of apple cider vinegar if you put lots of apple in, and then you can leave it for ages, and it kind of turns into a nice apple cider vinegar. I really like doing that. I like apple and ginger as well. That's good. But really, any kind of fruit is really nice. Cinnamon is nice to put in it as well. Mixed spices. Vanilla is brilliant. So you can just play around with it and make your own recipes. It's fantastic. So there's 3 pears, that's about enough really. So I'll leave that probably for 1 day. I'll leave it in the jar, or maybe 2 days. And again, you can leave that anywhere. Kefir isn't really very fussy about where you leave it. It doesn't have to be in the dark or in bright light or in, you know, really warm temperatures. It does really well in kind of, you know, UK, Scotland temperatures. So you can just leave it kind of wherever you like. It's just looks after itself really. It's brilliant. So after a day or 2, I would again strain the fruit out, and then you're left with this lovely pear tasting juice. Now if you want to, you can transfer that into an airtight bottle and leave it in the fridge for a couple of days, and then as the fermentation process keeps going, it gets a little bit fizzy. It gets very fizzy, in fact. You gotta watch it because it might explode in your fridge. But so you can, you know, make a really lovely fizzy pop, and kids love it. Everyone likes the taste of it, so you can, especially if you modify it to your own taste and your own flavours. So, you know, and you're getting a great healthy probiotic beverage. So I definitely recommend it. I've been drinking it for years and I just think it's fantastic. So good luck with your kefir adventures, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.